Pirate kings, pirate queens, non-binary monarchs of the sea, hello, how's it going? What's going on? It's EB02 time on Western Sim Lobby, and I know that the other day in my Green Purple Luffy data list gameplay video, I said I had some stats to go over. We're going to do that today, but before we do, I just want to give a little disclaimer. With EB02 just now becoming the main format to play on Western on the sim, there are a couple things here. One, this sample size is very small. I'm just doing 2 days, the 30th of April and the 1st of May. EB02 became the main format technically on April 29th, but that was only a partial day, and when you look at each day individually, the results, the trends are markedly different, so I'm just keeping it to those two. And not May 2nd, because we're still partway through May 2nd, and I've got to get this out as soon as I can. This is not going to be a normal data set. There are going to be some things in these rankings that I was very taken aback by, and that I'm not sure that I kind of disagree with, but more than anything, just think are very circumstantial to where we are at with the newness of the format. More than anything. But we'll get more into that as time goes on. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like. If you have any thoughts of your own, if you have questions about the data, and if there is a leader that I don't get to show a deck for, because I'm not showing a deck for every single leader on this list, let me know. I'd be happy to run some stats for you. And if you'd like to support the channel, please subscribe. It always helps. Anyway, EB02 time. So right here, we have a pie chart of all the games played over those 2 days. Again, games played, not necessarily the number of players, but I think it will give us an idea of general trends as we're going in here. Green Purple Luffy at the top with 18%. Not the highest meta share we've seen, not the lowest we've seen for the top deck, which I find pretty interesting here. Going in, I think if you include either the 29th, maybe also the 28th, I'd have to double check what the other report that got run was. It would put Shanks up there, but Green Purple Luffy has definitely been taking up more and more space. This is interesting to me because this leader did just come out. The leader technically doesn't come out for another week. So there could be an argument to say that the general hype around him could be inflating it. I have also just briefly seen some anti-GPLuffy talk, some talk of him not being the best deck in the format, of him not being that great. So I'm very interested to see which way this slice of the pie changes over the next week and beyond. Below that, we have Shanks, Teach, Lucci, and then Vegapunk as the number 5 deck, rounding out our 50%. That is very, very, very fascinating to me. We'll get more into him later on. Then Bonnie, Dofi, Purple Luffy, Lim, Red Green Smokers, a bunch of these really around the 3% mark, and then just so much. There are a lot of leaders that made it into this data set through the little filters there. I think partially because we're only looking at 2 days here, so there's more room for them. Hopefully this is readable. I know these labels are a bit small. Thank you for bearing with that. Anything else I want to talk about with the meta? Oh, I guess the fact that there's also the sense that with this being... It didn't occur to me at first thought, but this is a pretty open meta. Not just because of it being EB02, there being a new best deck in format, that decks have to react against, and that certain decks get the chance to react against the decks that react to Green Purple Luffy. If that makes sense. And so people are just seeing what's good with the new EB02 cards. People are chefing around quite a bit. And also this format is inevitably going to be markedly different from the Japanese equivalent of EB02 because of the ban list. And so this is why I'm hyped for global release. We're in this Wild West sort of situation right here. And I'm really, really digging it. And it's going to lead us to some very, very, very interesting results, I think. Beyond the meta shares, I also have matchups. Again, keep in mind, this is just 2 days worth. There's some that surprised me, some that I honestly want to compare to 10.1, and just keep looking at as time goes on. Here they are. I struggle to fit this into one screen. I don't know where the hell my face is going to show up here, and that's probably going to be markedly why am I saying markedly so much? It's probably going to be very evident that I don't know how to fit all this in here. These are arranged by order of prevalence, not by my out of 10 score, so don't take any bearing on what's on top, what's on bottom, more than what has the most games. Going top to bottom and left to right. Yeah. I think that green purple Luffy is in a pretty good place. Even doing decent to Shanks, able to keep up. Great into Teach. Lucci's the one that's a little tough. There is a chance that as they play with the Going Merry more, get an idea of how to specifically protect their characters, because that's the other thing. There's a good chance that a lot of these green purple Luffy players are just starting to learn the deck, and they could just get better as time goes on. Vegapunk is still the 5th place deck, and that's crazy. Bonnie's not what they want to see. It's not a great matchup. Eustace Kid can be pretty difficult, and they can then counterattack with Gamma Knife, but it seems that... And again, this could also be that the Luffy players could get better, but... Yeah. And then even though it's different colors, Lucci and Bonnie are basically at the same point from green purple Luffy's point of view right now. I'm not going to get too much into the other ones right now because I am on a timeline here. What we're going to do is we're going to go into some deck lists. I am not going to have deck lists for all 45 of these leaders. I don't have them all. What I did was, if there was a list in the deck lists tab for this filter for this period of time, I included it. If there was a leader that when you look at the top 20 most used cards, at least I think most used is how they organize it. If you look at the top 20 cards for a leader and something from EB02 is in there, I did an algorithm list for those. I will have the general tier of each one at the bottom of the screen to go through the decks, and I'll give you like the full tier list and the full like scores out of 10 at the very end. So let's get into that. I also won't have a ton to say about them. For some of them, I may just be reading what the new cards are. We're going to start off with Purple Black King. This one is just here, and I didn't mention this, because it just didn't really have much presence on these reports in 10.1. It may never have presence on these reports, just given the filters there and how many games this leader is able to get. But it's cool. We do have the 8-cost Sabo. We will be seeing quite a bit of that in this video today. We have Red Purple Kid. Crash Out Kid, we love to see him. There is a new card here. Brand New World, Start Me Up. One of those new event searchers. Main, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal 1 card with a cost of 4 or more and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. One thing to note is that as long as the translation on here is correct, I haven't actually played with it, that means we can search for the red cards and the purple cards. This can get our Kid Blockers, it can get our Porsches, it can also get our Shanks. It can't get the Porsche. That's my bad. Costs 4 or more. Sue me. That's Red Purple Kid. Got a little buddy Chopper at number 41. There is a new red Chopper in EB02. I don't remember what it does. It is not in this list. But Chopper Man is. 5 cost, 6k. Treat the name as Chopper, and on play an animal type character with a cost of 3 or lower from your hand. This is nice that Chopper gets something that is unique to him, something that Zoro cannot use, and also it's just in flavor. And y'all read the little Chopper Man, like little 4-panel comics? They're so good. They're so good. I love Chopper Man. I'm glad they're including stuff like this in the card game. It's just really nice. And then we also have the green Nami Searcher, basically the same as the OPO1 Searcher, as long as I'm reading it correctly. But yeah, she's the East Blue type too. That's pretty nice. This Chopper was already in there. That is Chopper. Number 40 is Arlong. This is like, I know a lot of people who love Arlong. I've been dunked on by Arlong before, and I loved every single minute of it. We get 3 new cards. Arlong is kind of eating good. He's still at number 40, but, you know, he's got some stuff. We have the 3-cost Arlong. If your leader has the Fishman or East Blue type, give up to 1 rested Don to your leader. Then up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less can't be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's not just that they can't attack. It's not that they don't become unrested. It's that they can't rest them in the first place. So Jack would not be subject to this because he is I think he's 11 cost on board. I know that I know there's something that that distinction matters for. I don't remember what. If you can let me know, very appreciative. We have the Buggy 4 cost 6k 0 counter on play if you don't have another Buggy character in play, which not very likely. One of your leaders gets double attack until the end of the turn. So you swing double attack and then you get to play a trigger. This is stupid. This is very silly, and it's everything I want from a Buggy card. Thank you. And then trigger rest an opponent's character with a cost of 4 or less. Our other new card is the Jinbei. It's a 2k counter, 4 cost 5k. Has a trigger to play him if he comes out of life. So we can either cheat him out of hand with Arlong, use him as a 2k counter, or he's just an extra body we get from taking life. We love to see it. Number 35, we're getting quite a bit of a jump here. BY-Luffy. No new cards here, no newly released cards. He's just been mostly unheard of for OP10 so far post-ban. So I just wanted to include him because we did have some data today. Noteworthy cards, One-Legged Soldier to -3 something. And then the Sabo on play, trash a card. You know what this does. KO a 5 or a 3. This feels pretty relevant for the Luffy matchup. The GPLuffy matchup, I should say. Number 34, Green Yellow Yamato, and holy 2 ofs. Let's see, is there anything from EB02 in this? I don't really think so. And this is a list that either got to 2 billion, that was played either on 2 billion or 3 billion. So this is some hardcore chefing. That's a one of Eustace Kid. That's a one of. Crazy. Number 33, we have Rocinante. He did get a new card. 2 cost 3k, 1k counter Rocinante, Restadon, and this character. Okay, can't do that under Arlong. If your leader is Rocinante, look at the top 5. Play a character with a cost of 2 or less rested. Place the rest of the bottom deck in any order. Okay. There, okay, you can get the blocker out, you can get the sugar out. That's pretty neat. The pudding, yep, you don't have to rest. This is pretty cool. There is some neat stuff. I think that's a cool card. I don't think I've ever played a Rocinante game in my life. It kind of makes you want to start. The chef ability is nice. Number 29, we have Carrot, and there's a new Carrot from EB02. On play, if you have 3 or more Dolan cards on the field, look at the top 7, reveal the Zoe stage and put into hand. Place rest on the bottom, and play the Zoe for free. So we're playing the Zoe for 2 less Don. So it's basically free, and we can just keep setting our characters active. I'm not a Carrot player. This is the kind of card, just that utility that I like about sets like EB02. And it's a 2K. She's a 2K. That's pretty nice. Number 27, we have Nami. Again, I think this was also in 3 billion. Not a ton to say here, just a lot of very specified card counts. Peep the Arabesque Brick Fist and the one of Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. Good for her. Number 26, ST14 Luffy. Only new card here is the Sengoku. 7 cost 7k, 1k counter, blocker, on play. Play a Black Navy character with cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. So in this deck, that would be the Kuzan, the Branu, the Tashigi, the Hina. I don't think I'm missing any others. And then interesting one for this deck is the Nefeltari Cobra. Came out in 05. This is the first time I've ever seen it in anything that I've ever covered. Chump blocker, on play, trash the top card of your deck. Black does have decently sized recursion now. This can just help us out. He's a good king. That's cool. Skipping 25, number 24 is Calgara. And I know people have been talking a lot about Enel in Enel, but what about Enel in Calgara? If your leader has a Sky Island type, this card gains Rush. And then when attacking, trash a card from your hand. If you have 1 or less life, place 1 card from the top of your deck onto your life. Then give that character another 1,000. So it's a 12k rusher that lets you basically take a card from your hand, add it to your life. Not choosing it, but just card advantage-wise. Sweet. And it also runs Damned Punk now. I remember playing a couple games with this when OP08 came out. I liked it. I never revisited it. Let's see if it makes it into one of the daily grind sessions. Number 23, Peanut Butter Luffy. PB Luffy. Of course, the 6-cost Luffy can function pretty well in here. Our leader is multicolored. We have lots of ramp, and our leader ability works perfectly with sending the Dome back. It essentially turns into a rest 1. It's just that little bit of aggression that the deck sometimes needs. Cool. Number 22, Moria. This one, I also from 3 or 2 billion. This list was played pretty high. Honestly, looks really similar to the one that topped in Montreal. If not exactly that list, it might just be exactly that list. Cool. Glad to see it's going strong these first couple days. 21, Red Green Odin. We haven't seen him in a second. Always a fan of this one. The new card we have here is the 6-cost Yamato 7K, no counter. Activate main once per turn if your leader has the land of Wano type or is Porcus D Ace. Ace is currently leading the poll for what I play tomorrow, so Yamato might be making an appearance there. Give up to 1 rested Don card to your leader, then the character gains Rush. We love him. We love Yama Bro. Any excuse to play Yama Bro in a silly deck, I'm going to take. That's going in Ace. But here in Odin, yeah, set your leader ability up. And Rush is very cool. Very nice. Number 20, Black Smoker. Only new card here is the Sengoku, but we play so much Navy here. No new targets, actually. So it has about the same utility as it did. No, the Kobe. We can reuse our Kobe in Smoker. That's really nice. That's really, really, really nice. And that is Smoker. Number 19, we have Katakuri. Literally nothing new here. Cool. Number 18, Marco. Also no new cards. Animal Marco is something I haven't had the pleasure of playing, but I think people are pretty familiar with, so that's just how it's been going these past couple days. Number 17, Yellow Kid. And again, no new cards. We're getting to that point where it's just things that are still holding their place in the meta without a bunch of new changes. Yeah, I do want to see what else could work for these new decks. And then we've got the red purple Luffy here. There were some people playing the new 6-cost Luffy. I included it in the data. That card did not generate enough wins for me to put in this final list here. So take from that what you will, as to whether that means it's not good for the deck or if people were not using it in the deck quite right. Reiju at number 15. Yeah, nothing new here, but Reiju has been doing pretty well lately. And we've got the Red Rock in here, as she has. The Gamma Knife. Reiju can hold her own here. Number 14, Betty. Again, no new cards. This is just a whole stretch here. Number 13, Usopp. Guess how many cards are new? None of them. And number 12, we have Enel, which plays the new Enel, but also plays the new Sanji. 5-cost, 6K, 1K counter, blocker. On play, if you have 2 or less life, draw 2, trash 1. This is fine. We take some of these out. It's more Rush. I mean, like, it's Enel. It's degenerate. I may be giving him a pass because, like, you know, we have our history. More card advantage, though. In hand. Directly. That's a little crazy. It's a little versatility for our guy Enel. I miss my Basil Hawkins. I miss seeing Basil Hawkins and 8-cost kid here. Maybe there's a world where they can all coexist. Maybe they can all hang out at the same party. We'll see. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna shine my chef with Enel again. I can't. No. Number 11. Red Green Smoker. Not new, but Baccarat seems cool. Seems like a somewhat off the beaten path pick, or at least not the most played. Number 10, Zoro. Zoro still reigns supreme. I think I may have seen the new. Okay, I'm gonna say it for Ari. Fuck Zoro. But you know what I'm saying. The EB02 Red Chopper, I think saw some play, not a ton, or at least not a ton of wins. I still have to figure out what the card does. Number 9, Doflamingo. We've seen it all before. Purple Luffy. He's a cool guy. We like him. He's just consistent. He's just chill. He's just right there. He's just doing him. Teach. Till we get some new Blackbeard cards, till we get that starter deck. It is what it is. But number 7. Okay, third most played deck. The win rate is not quite showing up there, and that also could just be because you gotta know what your opponent's doing before they do it if you really want to play them at the highest level, and we're still learning the Green-Purple Luffy matchup. Right now, it's really good for Green-Purple Luffy. That very much could change. I guess that's what I have to say about Teach at the moment. Lim, Yeah, this is just the Orochi build here. I don't think people are really doing anything too different with her at the moment. Number 5 is Lucci. No new cards from EB02, but we are running the 10 cost Kuzan. 4 of them. Feels pretty nice against Green Purple Luffy in general because, one, this can immediately KO a Sanji Pudding unless they've Going Married it, but then our leader ability, I think Going Married gives +1 or +2, I forget, but basically we have ways to get around that. This is just the finishing blow, and then this can also just help us stay alive against their aggression, and the longer that game goes on, I believe for Lucci, the better it's going to go. Number 4 is Shanks. Number 4 is Shanks. Shanks is number 4. We still have 3 decks, so it's going to get a little crazy. This list doesn't look incredibly crazy, so I'm going to keep going. Also, I just don't play Shanks. I should start playing Shanks. Number 3, Jewelry Bonnie. Jewelry Bonnie. Good Green Purple Luffy matchup is taking her far. Still a little farther she could go. Only 2 of the ACOS kit. I believe this is a list directly ripped from the upper tiers, so that's pretty nice. Shanks seems great here. I kind of want to start playing this. I know I didn't play her in favor of playing Green Purple Luffy. Now I kind of want to play her. Oh, Urouge is back. When's he going to do something in the story? Oh, to please. Oh, to please. And then number 2 is Green Purple Luffy. I don't know. Okay. This list is we know what this does by now. We know what this is. We know it is +2. Just replying to my earlier thought on the Lucci. The deck is so cool. I didn't think I'd enjoy this deck. I really want to keep playing it. I want to play more. And now that question of do I go for variety or do I go with consistency with a deck is screaming in the back of my mind, and it's just I love this deck so much. It's so cool, and I know that I have so much more to learn about the deck. But it's not at number 1 in these first 2 days. I cannot stress that enough. In these first 2 days, the number 1 deck is Vegapunk. Insane. Crazy. So before I get into the new card, new cards for the new card we haven't discussed yet, the matchup is passable into Green Purple Luffy at the moment. Shanks isn't great. But the matchups against Teach and Lucci are apparently amazing. And Teach makes sense to me because we don't have a lot of on-play effects. And we have so much aggressive capability. Lucci throws me for a loop. I believe I looked at what it was at in 10.1. I've already forgotten because it's just one of those days. But I could see how this new Vegapunk, 5 cost, 1k counter, it's a blocker. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, play up to 1 5-cost or lower scientist character other than Vegapunk. So our Atlas, our Edison, our Shaka, our Pythagoras, our Lilith, the York, if we run it. Am I forgetting one of the satellites? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, God, I'm already off of Egghead. I'm already forgetting Egghead. There's 7 of them. No, there's only 6. Vegapunk's the 7th. The Stella is the 7th. Sheesh. You can play any of them. You can play any of them off of the Vegapunk. But the drawback here is that if your opponent has 2 characters or less, you discard 1. Triggers a draw card. So, there is a chance that you could play 10 Don worth of characters on turn 1. Yes, the Vegapunk has 0 power, but it's more resources that a black deck has to put into controlling your board. With the sheer amount of bodies we're able to generate anyway as Vegapunk, I can see why the matchup is so good. Lucci never dies. Lucci could figure it out, and there could also be a player skill thing going on here. This card's really cool. And we run the Sanji as well. So basically, the fact that the meta is so wide right now, and these tier 2 decks take up significant portions of the format, at least from what I remember, and the fact that those two matchups in tier 2 are so good that for the moment it outweighs green purple Luffy's just having such great matchups across the board aside from Lucci and Bonnie. Passable 2 great matchups for green purple Luffy, I should say. Do I expect this to stay the same? Not necessarily. Like I've mentioned, the green purple Luffy players, a fair amount of them are probably still learning the deck. I may just be projecting because I'm one of them. People aren't used to seeing this card. There could be an argument made that the Vegapunk players are still learning to use him effectively as well. And I guess the other thing is that the Lucci matchup is impacted by the ban list, I would guess. And so I think that makes that matchup better at the moment, which is why I can't say definitively. I want to say, green purple Luffy was the best deck in EB02 Japanese format. It didn't lose any cards, therefore why shouldn't it be the best deck? But potentially, this taking in the opportunity that Lucci's hit presents itself. I would love to see it. I would really love to see it if it becomes a Vegapunk Green Purple Luffy Bonnie battle for the top. That would be so sick. There's just something in my gut that tells me Green Purple Luffy is going to be back on top by the end of the week, but I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. And I guess we're going to find out together. But those are the deck lists here. And here are the matchups arranged in order of highest score to lowest score. Take a look at this, screenshot it. I'll probably be posting it to Twitter, X, whatever I don't care what we call it at this point. And then here are those scores presented in the form of a tier list. This looks neat. This looks really, 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 really neat. I love having a big data set like this. I love having access to make that happen. Will I end up getting more involved with how I produce these stats to try and make it so more decks being represented? We will see because the schedule is tight. But in the meantime, here's where we are at for these first 2 days of EB02. Keep an eye on OPBounty for week-to-week updates. Keep an eye on my channel. I'll be refreshing the stats every day in my One Piece daily grind videos. By the way, check those out. I am trying to make content more often. If there is ever a deck you want to play or a stats question you want answered, let me know in the comments. Once again, if you liked the video, please leave a like. Always appreciated. And if you would like more, subscribe to find out as soon as I play something new. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.